Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Renovation and Outdoor Living Show for the 22nd of May. This is episode 14, and thanks for letting me into your Facebook stream this afternoon. Really good to see you all here in Auckland. Well, it's another beautiful day of sun shining over what's been the chilliest week of the year so far. I was going to go outside and do this, but we had a few issues with my signal on Tuesday, and I went off air for several minutes. So I decided to play it safe and stay inside near the modem. So on the subject of the cold, though, we've had great feedback from Tuesday's episode. That was a theme when we talked about keeping warm in winter. We talked, if you remember, to Ashley Laurie from Trends Outdoors about the multitude of options for your outdoor fireplace. Then we chatted to Andrew Hibbert from Viridian Glass about the incredible innovations in this space. He also managed to keep talking for the entire time I was offline, struggling with Wi-Fi issues. So I thanked him afterwards profusely, and I thank him again for being able to just keep chatting away. It shows how passionate he is about his project. I have no idea what he said. I did, though, watch it back later, and he was awesome. So we also had a few questions from our experts. Now, Lynn Miller asked about the S-Trap toilet, and she said, I'm about to start building a new home. I'm looking at toilets, etc. I found information from Australia that said not to use an S-Trap toilet. My plumber's told me to buy an S-Trap. So do you know of any issues or concerns with the S-Trap? Well, it's pretty straightforward, Lynn. Now, we spoke to one of our renovation specialists, Dave Giorgetti, who we're going to be talking to very shortly. He answered this for us, and here was his answer. It depends on how the soil stack, the waste pipe set up. An S-Trap is for when the waste pipe going through the floor, under the toilet, so it has to come in and up and round and down. And a P-trap is for when the waste pipe is horizontal behind the toilet, going out through the wall. There you go. So it's as simple as that. And we will please do make sure any other questions you have. Now, we've got Dave on the show today, so a wide range of expertise. If you've got any questions which you want to be able to put to any of our experts, please just chuck them in the comments here. We also announced the winner of our barbecue on Tuesday. Congratulations again to Faye King for winning our Weber Q1000. And during that conversation, when we were talking about the barbecue outside and outdoor fireplaces, it made us start thinking. I think I might have made a comment that a lot of people install pizza ovens, but then they don't use them that often because it takes so long to cook a pizza. And I've been put firmly in my place about this. So we decided we actually wanted to talk about pizza ovens a little bit. So this led to today's theme, which is a highlight in the kitchen. And we're doing one outside and one inside. Okay, kitchen highlights effectively. We decided to talk about pizza ovens outside. We tackled the need for them and how to create a statement feature in your kitchen afterwards. So first up, we want to talk to Tyler Rodden. Now, Tyler he's a good Greymouth lad. So he's from Greymouth. He studied music in Dunedin. Now he works for Brustics in Auckland, and he's been with them for 6 years, first as an installer of their fencing and thatched roofing. I think that's their main product range, and for the last 2 years, the quotes and install manager. But amongst the many things which Brustics offers, they also do pizza ovens. So Tyler, good to see you. Thanks very much for giving us some time today. So very quickly, just explain to me Brustics, because you're not just pizza ovens. What exactly is Brustics?
Brustics is unique landscape products, basically natural bamboo, eucalyptus, and brushwood, fencing and installation, or just basically shipping New Zealand wide as well. We also have natural and synthetic thatch options for gazebos and
so it seemed like a fairly natural step to then go and say, well, hold on, we're building these installations and we're designing these things, and people want to put pizza ovens in them. So obviously you guys sourced some pizza ovens, and so your pizza ovens come from overseas.
Yeah, so from Portugal, so they know how to do it over that way as well.
So are they? Is this a new thing? Are we leading by now getting into pizza ovens in a big way, or are we late to the party? Have Europeans been doing this for centuries? Where do we sit?
I think that's probably a correct statement. I mean, we've always had our outdoor braziers, and we do love fire, but for some reason we've never contained it and tried to cook with it so much over here. But
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, it's definitely arising. I mean, we got into I think it was nearly 10 years ago, we started importing them, and it was quite quiet. And um, yeah, the market was a lot slower than sort of it is now. But it's really a great addition to any outdoor area, really.
Is it becoming a bit of a must-have when because you'll do a lot of time you'll be talking to landscape specialists about
Yeah,
big projects and they must. I mean, are you finding that increasingly it's a case of it is the pizza oven sort of right up there on the list?
it's definitely a vocal point, and something that is it just adds so much to any outdoor area. It really does.
Okay. See, this is the thing because I was slightly trust me, it's only because I haven't got one that I was being dismissive.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one, but because I decided, well, maybe the reason why I don't have one is because, well, once you start cooking on it, it takes so long for each pizza to come out that you don't use it that often. But actually, it's not really necessarily about the pizza, is it?
It's well, firstly, it does cook pizzas quite quick. You're
Right.
working with 200 to 400 plus degrees, and basically it's only going to take a minute or two for your pizza to be ready, the next one's going to be lined up. But yeah, it's right. It's an entertainment value as well. It's so much fun to be actually, you know, being there and working with the fire, and even if you are waiting for someone else, you'll be enjoying watching them do what they do with their pizza. Because, well, we say pizza ovens, but we try to actually say wood-fired ovens because it's so much more than just pizzas. You can do,
Right.
like I said, you're
Yeah.
working with
Okay.
hot temperatures. Yeah,
Yeah,
cook
so
anything.
it has so it has that same feature as it's the same thing as all the lads standing around the barbie, isn't it? Really watching while one just turns the sausages. So a good point though about the speed of the pizzas.
Mm,
That's completely
yeah.
dismissed what I said. I thought they took about 10 minutes each, but that shows
No,
that I've never
yeah.
used one probably.
Oh,
But it also shows the power of these things, doesn't it?
definitely.
Because these and on that point, therefore, you don't really want to then sort of get a kit and build your own. This is pretty complex.
Yeah, the DIY build your own ones, they seem to it gives you the illusion that it's going to be nice and easy and quick, but the easiest and quickest way to do it is to basically buy a pre-made one that no labor involved, and you're just gonna basically, yeah, with our Maximus, it's only 55 kilos, and the Maximus Prime, which is slightly bigger, meter by meter, is 110 kilos. So, four
So
people can move that around easy.
So this one here, what
This
is this the portable one?
Yeah, this is one of our portable ones. So we've got a Maximus range, which is portable, and Fauna Braga, which is a traditional solid brick wood-fired ovens. And the Maximus range, yeah, is 50 kilos and 110 kilos. So very easy. You can, throw it in the back of your car and take it down to the batch or around to your friend's place, or just move it if you need to, really. So that's the
And
the one on the left.
I presume this is your backyard because you like to get
Yes.
two pizzas going at once.
Oh, not quite my backyard, but I did design and pretty much install this area with the
Yeah.
team of guys that we have here as well. So this is a bit of an example of our eucalyptus in action as well as the pergola above, and this is just outside actually in our display showrooms area. So I mean, if you're in the
So
Auckland
so
area, come
actually,
down and have a look.
did you just mention eucalyptus? See, part of this because I've got a Weber in the garden and I love it and it does pizzas. Not that I often do it because it takes me forever to do them, so I just cook normal stuff on there, but or other stuff. But as you said, this isn't just about pizzas. But how much
Mhm.
of it is about the flavour as well? Because it's all very well flicking the gas on.
Yeah, exactly. So the wood that you're using is creating incredible flavors into the food that you're cooking. Um, Basically, depending on the type of timber, but tea tree is a good hardwood. You want dry hardwood that's seasoned, that's going to burn for long periods of time, basically. Um, Push the fire to the side like you see there, and then you're away. The Maximus has it's designed to basically keep the heat low, which is great for pizzas and cooking quickly. So yeah, the
Yeah.
Maximus range is
What's
phenomenal, really.
quick cost of the Maximus range?
So the Maximus range, we've got the Maximus, which is the smaller 70 by 70. That is 1595. That's the schist. We've got a brick face and a schist face. So the brick is 1595 and the schist is 1695. And same goes, we've got the schist and brick for the Maximus Prime, which is bigger. And they are 2495 and 2595.
How would that compare to building one from scratch in the backyard, do you reckon?
Well, if you're charging yourself $110 an hour for labor, it'd skyrocket, you know. So,
Yeah,
but
fair point.
yeah, there's a lot of labor that is involved in those build your own ones, but it's fun. But yeah,
Yeah.
the ready to go is where it's at. So this is our Fauna Braga range. We've got two sizes, 100 centimeters and 120 centimeters. The 100 centimeters is 550 kgs. So we're looking at needing a higher crane to get it into position. And then it's 850 kgs for the 120. So
That's a
these
that's a very impressive. It almost looks, it's all such a great outdoor space. It almost looks actually they're taking
yeah,
the walls away from their house to create
yeah.
the outdoor space. But
Exactly, and you can
yeah,
just see yourself basically. The entertainment doesn't stop with cooking. You open the doors, and you've got a fire, you've got a brazier ready to go, and you'll stay outside for longer, basically. So
yeah.
if you've got a great outdoor area like this, yeah, you'll use it a lot more, I think, with one of our pizza ovens slash
I'm
wood
surprised
fired oven.
they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't put a TV in there very quickly. I know we're talking
Yeah.
about it goes way beyond pizza, but your go-to pizza?
Well, yeah, capsicum, mushroom, and a bit of chorizo. I'm quite a bit big on my stuffed crust. I was actually lucky to have one of the Maximuses at home during the lockdown, so I got
Oh,
really experimental
it
with
seemed to
stuffed
have
crust.
made its way into the back of your ute just as they announced lockdown. Very good,
Yeah.
awesome. Hey Tyler, thanks for giving us some time. Great to have a bit of a rundown.
Yeah.
I'm completely sold on it, and
Thanks
I
for having
wasn't
me.
really
Yeah.
being dismissive. No,
No, no, of
we'll
course.
chat. We must chat again. I'd like to know more about the other stuff which you guys do. But we'll
Yeah, we
talk about
could.
that another day.
Yeah, we could definitely feature again with fencing and thatch roofs.
Awesome. Good on you, Tyler. Hey, thanks for joining us. That is Tyler Rodden there from
Thank you.
Brustics, talking, and Franchelle's just written in saying she has outdoor area envy. I know. It's just isn't that amazing? That was an entire living room without the TV out there, well, and kitchen in one. So if you want to get going on improving your outdoor area or an indoor area, well, you can head down to into Mitre 10. Okay, because we're going to give away a $250 voucher. It'll get you started. $250. This is a substantial amount for a weekend shop. So if you want to win, this is our prize this week. If you want to win a $250 Mitre 10 voucher, we need you to like the page, and there's a diagram of where you draw a big circle and press where it says liked. And I would also love you to tell us what your next big renovation project is going to be. Always interesting to find out. I had a couple of comments here. Eddie G saying they look great, the pizza ovens. Margaret wants to know, do they ship to Australia? Margaret, we'll get you that answer. Okay, we'll ask Tyler whether they ship to Australia. And Eddie, you've been challenged. You've said they look great, so are you going to get one? That's what we want to know here on the show. But they are fantastic. And I do like the idea of not having to build one from scratch, but they just look classy as well. So enter the competition here in the comments page if you want to get onto into that Mitre 10 competition. So from the kitchen feature outside to the kitchen feature inside, we're now going to talk to Refresh business owner Dave Giorgetti about how to make a statement in your kitchen. Many ways to do it. Now, Dave's the owner of Refresh, as you can see here in Auckland Central. He and his wife Sue, well, they don't just talk the renovation tour. They've walked the walk. They've renovated 3 homes, I think, 3 homes between them, with a particular interest in architecture and interior design. And Dave, this is where this topic comes in, doesn't it? Because it's this interior design passion we want to tap into. And more specifically, this feature, something which you think we could all make so much more of a feature of, or that people are beginning to make more of a feature of. What is it?
What we're talking about is the splashback in the kitchen today, and the kitchens are getting more state of the art, and people tend to experiment less and less with the cabinetry and things like the benchtop, which are very expensive elements to change if you feel you've done the wrong thing. So it's a pretty brave person, for example, that puts in bright red cabinetry. Somewhere that you can be a bit experimental and it's not too expensive to change if you feel that you've been a bit too brave is the splashback, or and as we can see in that picture there, we've also got a splashback material and tile on the back of the kitchen island.
So, so I'm going to pick you up here because I find this really. I thought that splashbacks, the whole idea of a splashback was that it had to be flat and smooth. I don't know, like so easy to wipe, some sort of acrylic plastic, or maybe some tiles. But this looks to be, as you just said, it's textured, isn't it?
Yeah, so there is texture on there, and I think the key thing is that it needs to be sealed and it needs to be able to be wiped clean. But so we're not talking about porous surfaces or anything that's, you know, sort of like brick-like or anything. So a sealed ceramic or porcelain tile is fine. It can still be wiped clean, but you don't want anything with sort of with sharp edges. Um, I think the reason that texture looks good in the kitchen is everything else is smooth and shiny for the purposes of cleanliness and hygiene. So the splashback can have some texture and still be easy to clean.
Yeah, that's such a good point you just made. To give a bit of so it distinguishes it a wee bit from the other surfaces, and as you can see here, and is this is one of your projects, is it?
Yes, this is one we did in Ponsonby.
So and as you can see here, the thing which engages your eye straight away is, well, actually it's two things. It is the texture of the splashback, which you've repeated in the island, plus the lighting above it. So first of all, that's an interesting idea to repeat the splashback texture in your kitchen island. Is that something you're doing quite a lot of?
Yes, it is. So I think the reason for the back of the kitchen island, quite often just to have a Malteca surface there or a paint finish surface is a little bit dangerous because that's where people sit at the bar stools and kids tend to kick, or even adults can kick. You get scuffing and you get mucks. But more than that, if we're trying to just get some interest in the kitchen, and there can be colour as well, that one happens to be white and a white kitchen. That was just the scheme that we were going for. But having those two, well, there are very few opportunities really to put anything like that in the kitchen, because everything else in a kitchen is things that open and shut, like your fridge, your oven, or else it's storage, you know, cupboards and drawers. So those are about the only two opportunities really to do something a bit different and get some flair other than the kitchen units and bench top itself.
And it makes a massive. I love those lights as well above the kitchen. But we're not talking lights today. Actually, I will ask you about lights because that's quite a big feature. As we saw in this photo, you can see it above the kitchen splashback, but also in the last one with the island splashback, you're running some sort of very subtle. Is that an LED strip or something?
Yeah. So nearly always, if we do a row of, well, you've got two choices really above your hob, and one is to have a rain shot against the wall, and the other is to have a row of upper units like that, upper cupboards. And then we integrate a power pack extractor into that set of upper cupboards. When we do that, it's quite a good idea to get the task lighting under those cupboards for, you know, lighting up that cooking area. And it's sort of just an added benefit that when you've got a textured splashback, that wash of light across the face of the tiles makes it a lot more dramatic. So if you saw that in the daytime, you can see there's texture, but when the lights are on, it really brings out the shadows. So a strip of light there, and we've also got one under the edge of under the overhang on the kitchen island, definitely makes the texture stand out and be a bit more dramatic.
It's brilliant, isn't it? You almost need one with the other. Show up the dirt though. You got to keep it quite clean.
Because of the light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, you probably want to keep it clean anyway. White will show splatters. I think the thing is that yeah, it's an area that's going to be wiped down frequently. I don't think it would show the dirt any more than Malteca on the back of the island, for example.
What about could you take this idea further from the kitchen? I mean, I know we're talking about kitchen splashbacks here, but this idea of textured tiling to accentuate or a feature in another. I'm thinking about bathrooms where obviously we use a lot
we've
of
been using it a bit in bathrooms as well. Same thing, you know, it has to be easily cleaned. In this picture here, we've just got some texture on that partition wall that's it's got a hex tile on it. And then we've taken the color of that tile and put it into the lacquered paint on the vanity, which was custom made to match. But just everything too smooth and shiny doesn't, you know, it can look a bit clinical, and I think the texture softens things a bit. And you've got to be a little bit braver with the dark colors, but it also does add some drama, and I think makes it a bit more impactful.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, it's really interesting, and I honestly, I don't have a particular eye for interior design, but certainly the but that kitchen also, which we were just looking at, that texture tile mix, it is the feature of that entire, plus the lights above the island, which I particularly like.
Yeah.
But Dave, thank you so much. Thanks so much for giving us a bit of time there. Really, really interesting. And so that is Dave Giorgetti there, who, if you want to talk to one of our renovation experts, is based here in Auckland Central, and he's probably sitting by his phone for about 22 hours a day at the moment. Hey, good to see you, Dave. We'll catch up again later down the series.
Sure. Thanks, Rawdon.
No worries. So there you go. Now, if you want to enter our competition, remember $250 Mitre 10 voucher. Just like our page and then tell us what your next renovation project was. We've had an answer here from Tyler about whether we can ship, whether Brustic can ship their outdoor ovens to Australia. Margaret, you wanted to know if they ship to Australia. They can probably arrange it. However, given the weight of them, it could be a wee bit spendy. So you're best off, well, give them a ring. You never know. They may be able to organise it. They may know somebody else who's providing them in Australia, or they may just invite you to New Zealand to enjoy a roast or a pizza here in one of their ovens. But yeah, anyway, Margaret, probably a wee bit spendy, but they'll look into it for you if you want to get it to Australia. So, well, it's Friday here in New Zealand and Australia, and all the bars here are officially opened last night. I think Australia, you've been drinking that for a wee while, so it's business as usual, I guess, this weekend for most. But fret not for our American friends who are still not really allowed into the local bar for their Friday night drinks. So they're innovating. And as many people were here, a lot of people were pulling up their chairs in the roads and sitting around on a Friday evening with their drinks, all sort of nicely isolated from each other, you know, with a distance between them, putting a coat on and enjoying a winter's drink on a Friday afternoon or a Friday evening. However, the US has gone a wee bit further. This is according to the New York Times. They've gone one further. They're replacing their cocktail parties or their evening drinks with walktail parties. This is how the Americans are combining their drink with their afternoon exercises. Summer's arriving on the east, particularly hundreds of thousands, and are taking their beer or their glass of wine with them as they go out for a family walk or when they walk the dog. And some of the bars have started serving takeaway business because of this. Patrons are buying these cocktails up large and then heading around to the local park where they can enjoy them while they take an evening stroll. Evelina is a Brooklyn bar. Normally, pre-pandemic, they were selling 170 cocktails on a Saturday night. Last weekend, they sold 470 in one night. Pre-pandemic, 170. Last weekend, 470. In New Orleans, an innovative designer, started selling face masks where there's a hole for your straw, so that you can hold on to the dog with one hand and not have to, well, do you need a straw? Anyway, so well done to him or her, and I hope they're very, very successful, although it possibly defeats the purpose of the face mask in the first place. The police, well, apparently they're turning a blind eye, and I understand that. They don't really want to have to go up to somebody close up and risk themselves or their officers' health and safety when there's no threat to someone's life, so they're allowing everyone to wander around with their drinks. So don't feel too guilty as we hit the pub here in New Zealand or Australia this weekend. People a lot across the world are still managing to find a way to enjoy a social drink on a Friday night, however lockdown they're meant to be. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Tuesday. Bye-bye.